Hello and welcome to the Quiet Leader podcast. I'm so pleased to have you join me on this episode as we delve into the world of leadership and what it means to lead with purpose, trust and empathy. I'm your host Andy and I'm passionate about helping people become better leaders no matter their personality type. In this episode, we'll look into the importance of having empathy and emotional intelligence as a leader. According to research cited in Forbes, empathy is the most important leadership skill. Empathetic leaders are more successful in engaging and motivating their employees, building trust, and driving overall team performance. And this is why it's essential for leaders to cultivate empathy in themselves and foster a culture of empathy within their teams. And as we dive into this topic, it's important for us to reflect on our own experiences with leaders. When have you worked with a leader who showed empathy and understanding? And how did that impact your work experience? And then on the other hand, when have you worked with a leader who lacked empathy and made your work environment that much more challenging? Can you think of any specific examples of how their behaviour affected you and your team and your output? These personal experiences can help us better understand the importance of empathy in leadership and why it's crucial for leaders to cultivate this trait. So let's dive in and explore the world of quiet leadership and the role of empathy and emotional intelligence in effective leadership. So sit back, grab yourself a brew, and let's dive into the fascinating world of quiet leadership. Empathy is one of the vital components of being an effective leader, and its importance has been emphasised by numerous researchers and experts in the field. When leaders demonstrate empathy, they show that they understand and care about their team members' needs and concerns. This creates a sense of belonging, a connection and trust between the leaders and their teams, which is essential for building strong relationships and promoting collaboration. Empathetic leaders are better able to motivate their teams by understanding what drives and inspires them. And by connecting with their team members on a deeper level, leaders can tailor their approach to each individual and help them reach their full potential and thrive in their workplace. Empathetic leadership can also foster a culture of empathy in teams that can have a positive impact on overall team performance. When team members feel understood and supported, they're more likely to work collaboratively and communicate effectively, and this can lead to more innovative ideas, better problem solving, and ultimately greater success. So it's essential for leaders to make a conscious effort to cultivate empathy in themselves and to create a culture of empathy in their teams. This means actively listening to team members, seeking to understand their perspectives, and showing a genuine interest in their well-being. And by doing so, leaders can foster an environment where employees feel valued, respected, and supported, which can ultimately lead to a greater success for the team and the organisation as a whole. Goleman, I'm sure many of you heard of him, the leading voice in the field of emotional intelligence and its applications in leadership. His book, Emotional Intelligence, has become a classic in the field and has been widely read and cited by scholars and practitioners alike. Goleman argues that empathy is a critical component of effective leadership, as it enables leaders to connect with their team members on a deeper level. Empathetic leaders are able to understand and share the feelings of others, which allows them to build trust, foster collaboration, and inspire their team members to achieve common goals. And then on the other hand, leaders who lack empathy can be seen as insensitive and disconnected from their team members, which can lead to low morale, low productivity, and a higher turnover rate. Leaders who are unable or unwilling to demonstrate empathy are likely to struggle in building strong relationships with their team members and in gaining their trust and respect. Goleman's work has been influential in shaping the way we think about leadership and emotional intelligence. His insights have been widely cited, and his ideas have been applied in a variety of settings, including business, education, and healthcare. Overall, Goleman's work underscores the importance of empathy in leadership and highlights the benefits of developing this critical skill for both leaders and their teams. In his book, Leaders Eat Last, Simon Sinek argues that great leaders prioritize the well-being of their team members over their own interests, and empathy is a critical component of this mindset. According to Sinek, empathetic leaders understand the needs and concerns of their team members and work to address them. This requires active listening, open communication, and a willingness to put oneself in the shoes of others. By demonstrating empathy, leaders build trust, foster collaboration, and inspire their team members to work towards a common goal. And one example of a leader who embodies empathy, according to Sinek, is Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz. In his book, Sinek describes how Schultz made a point of visiting stores and meeting with employees to better understand their experiences and challenges. This allows Schultz to make more informed decisions and to create policies and programs that were better aligned with the needs of his team. Another example of an empathetic leader is Richard Branson, the founder of the Virgin Group, who is widely recognized as an empathetic leader. He has long been an advocate for prioritizing employee well-being and has implemented policies that reflect this belief. One such policy is unlimited vacation time for Virgin employees. Branson believes that by giving employees the freedom to take as much time off as they need, they are better able to recharge and come back to work refreshed and much more productive. Branson has also spoken publicly about the importance of empathy in leadership. He believes that leaders who can connect with their employees on a human level are better able to inspire and motivate them. In addition to his emphasis on empathy, Branson is also known for his unconventional leadership style. He encourages employees to take risks and be creative, and he is not afraid to take bold, unconventional approaches to business challenges. And this approach has helped him to create a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship in the Virgin Group. Fiona Dawson, as the president of Mars Food, multi-sales and global customers, has led efforts to promote diversity, inclusion, and gender equality at the company. And one way that she has shown empathy as a leader is by championing employee well-being and development. And she has launched programs aimed at promoting physical and mental health, such as offering on-site health clinics, fitness classes, and mental health resources. She understands that a company's success is dependent on the well-being and engagement of its employees, and she has made it a priority to support them in their personal and professional growth. She's also a vocal advocate for gender equality and has made it a priority to promote diversity and inclusion at Mars. She has taken concrete steps to close the gender pay gap and increase the representation of women in leadership positions. By creating a more inclusive workplace culture, Dawson has demonstrated her empathy for all employees, regardless of their gender, race, or background. And according to Brené Brown, leaders who lack empathy are often disconnected from their team members, which can hinder productivity and create an unhealthy work environment. In her book, Dare to Lead, she emphasizes that empathy is a core component of effective leadership, and argues that empathy is not just about feeling sorry for someone or being nice. Instead, it's about understanding and connecting with team members. She believes that empathetic leaders have the ability to create a safe and inclusive workplace, where team members feel valued and heard. And these leaders are skilled at actively listening to their team members, seeking to understand their perspectives and demonstrating a genuine interest in their well-being. So how do we as leaders cultivate empathy in ourselves? Well, empathy is not just an innate trait, and I'm a firm believer, just like all things, it can also be learned and developed over time. Brené Brown emphasizes the importance of vulnerability and authenticity in cultivating empathy among leaders. When leaders are open about their own struggles and challenges, it creates a safe and supportive environment for their team members to do the same. By being vulnerable, leaders can create a sense of trust and connection with their team, which is essential for building empathy. Her research has shown that leaders who are willing to show their human side and share their personal stories can create a more positive work culture, one where employees feel valued and heard. And by being authentic, leaders can create a sense of psychological safety, where team members feel comfortable sharing their own experiences and challenges. And this can lead to a more open communication, better problem solving, and a stronger sense of teamwork. When team members feel like they can be themselves and are accepted for who they are, they're more likely to be engaged and motivated to do the best work. And key to cultivating empathy is the ability to actively listen to our team members. Active listening involves not just hearing what someone is saying, but also paying attention to their body language, the tone, and emotions. By being fully present in the moment, we can truly understand our team members' perspectives, needs, and concerns. We can also cultivate empathy by seeking feedback from our team members. When was the last time you asked for feedback from your team about your performance? By asking open-ended questions and seeking honest feedback, leaders can gain a deeper understanding of themselves and how their actions and behaviours are perceived and are affecting our teams. And this helps leaders to build stronger relationships with their team members and fosters a culture of trust and collaboration. And what I think is the easiest way of cultivating empathy, and which I've mentioned in previous episodes, is by showing a genuine interest in your team members' lives outside of work. By taking an interest in their hobbies, families, and personal goals, we can demonstrate that we value them as individuals and not just as workers. But finally, it's also worth noting that empathy is not just important for leaders to cultivate, and it's also important for team members to show empathy towards one another. In fact, fostering a culture of empathy and understanding is essential for creating a positive and productive work environment. When team members are empathetic towards one another, they're better able to communicate and collaborate effectively. They're more likely to listen actively, seek to understand each other's perspectives, and work together to find solutions to problems. One way to foster a culture of empathy as a leader is to encourage team members to share their personal experiences and perspectives. By sharing personal stories, team members can gain a better understanding of each other's backgrounds, values, and beliefs. This can help break down barriers and create a more inclusive and supportive work environment. Additionally, leaders can set an example by modeling empathetic behaviour. By showing empathy towards your team members and encouraging empathy among your team, leaders can create a culture where empathy is valued and practiced. So to wrap up on what we've discussed across this episode, empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. And in a leadership context, empathy is essential because it helps you connect with your team members on a deeper level, build stronger relationships, and foster a more positive and productive work environment. Empathetic leaders are able to put themselves in their team members' shoes, understand their challenges and concerns, and respond with compassion and support. This creates a sense of trust and loyalty, leading to increased engagement and motivation among team members. And in contrast, leaders who lack empathy may struggle to build strong relationships. They may come across as cold, uncaring, or detached, leading to low morale, low productivity, and a high turnover rate. And without empathy, leaders may be more focused on their own goals and priorities, rather than the well-being of their team members. And this can lead to a toxic work environment, where team members feel undervalued and unsupported. And we've also looked at a few ways to cultivate empathy. We must actively listen to our team members and seek to understand their perspectives. This involves putting aside our own biases and assumptions and truly listening to what our team members are saying. We must also show a genuine interest in our team members' well-being, asking how they are doing and checking in regularly to see if there's anything that they need. Experts like Daniel Goleman and Sinek have emphasized the importance of empathy in leadership, and the work has inspired many leaders such as Fiona Dawson and Richard Branson to prioritize the well-being of their team members over their own interests. By cultivating empathy, leaders can create a more positive and productive work environment, better problem solving, and ultimately, greater success for the team and the organisation as a whole. So that's it for this episode of the Quiet Leader podcast. Please subscribe on Apple iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you get your podcasts from. And join me next time as we explore the art of quiet leadership. As with everything, one of the keys to becoming good at it is to be open to feedback. So I'd love to hear from you all with your thoughts and ideas. And you can reach out to me on Twitter @TheQuietLead or email me at artofquietleadership@gmail.com. Thank you for listening, and until next time, lead quietly but with conviction and purpose.